Look at the size of that stage. That is the best possible spot we could see it from. My God, that is high. Look at the elevation. That thing is massive. The idea being is, of course, the higher Newcastle players are up, the further supporters across the field will be able to see the players properly. And we are here now. I'm currently recording this on the Tuesday afternoon, so we're here still. You're talking three and a half days for Newcastle to be fully ready on Saturday now. I know at the minute you can see the stage quite well. You can see everyone over there quite well. Obviously, that stage, that's the back of the stage. So the front of the stage, of course, is going to be the other side. So even though you can stand here and see the stage well now, and round about on Saturday, that part will be covered up. So the sides will be covered up. It'll only be probably the front you can see. So might be a good spot here now, but I don't necessarily think this will be a good spot on Saturday to see the actual Town Moor event. So of course you've got to be in the inside to see that. Now in terms of that stage there are two massive screens inside Town Moor, which of course if you are far at the back you can see the screens at least, and of course you can physically see what's going on the stage. But that stage is large. I didn't realise how high it would actually be, and the point of that being is of course again the higher it is up, the further back supporters will be able to see the event properly. But just seeing that getting done now, and just seeing how busy this is as well. It's so busy on the inside. We're going to head inside shortly. We're going to see what's been going on in terms of construction, what's going on behind the scenes. But there's a lot going on here, and it's still quite early as well. So take it all in now, enjoy it. We'll show you a few videos, and I'm going to head inside Town Moor because I don't want to cause too much attention. Of course, these have a job to do and need to crack on and do that job. So I'm just here, I guess, to observe what's going on. As for public transport you can get on Saturday, I've seen it mouth at a time on social media. I've seen the poor guy get slaughtered by thousands of Newcastle fans for suggesting the question of the possibility of getting a metro directly to Town Moor. While I can't confirm it's not possible to get a metro to the actual field itself, West Jesmond is your closest bet for metro. You get off here, 5-10 minute walk, you are at Town Moor. Now the issue being with Town Moor, you have to remember the roads around Town Moor are off on Saturday, basically the entire day. No cars, no buses, no taxis. Metro is your best bet unless you want to walk to Town Moor from Newcastle, which is about a mile, so it's not too bad. But again, this is your only form of public transport that gets you even close to Town Moor, so bear that in mind on Saturday. Everyone will be fully aware of that on Saturday as well. So again, this will be rammed, but unless you physically need to get the metro to get to Town Moor, again, I would recommend walking over from Newcastle. It's not that far, 15-20 minute walk. It is sound, honestly, it's fine. To try and explain the layout as we head towards the centre of, I guess, where the Newcastle fans are going to be on Saturday. So, of course, we have the railings and the bars on our right. I'm not sure when the entry point is Saturday. I've walked around the entire perimeter, and that's my biggest, I guess, sign of confusion towards Saturday. I'm still not entirely sure where Newcastle fans are coming from. Now, there's toilets towards the back end where Exhibition Park is. Of course, there's toilets on the side here. I feel like with the way the entire park is here at Town Moor and the exhibition section, I feel like there probably would be multiple entry points. Surely to help calm the crowd down a little bit. There's going to be a lot of people waiting to get in. I feel like there would be multiple entry points, but I'm not fully convinced at the minute, to be honest. It's still a bit too early to tell because of the fact of how early we are here. We're going to mention a bit about the stage shortly. Of course, we've seen it up close and personal before, but again, there's so much activity going on here today. I've been here a couple of hours. There's so much that's been going on. We are currently standing in what is, my opinion, the worst possible view you could have on Saturday. So the reason how I know this is because, well, if you look closely, if you walk around Town Moor, you can see a lot of these little red flags that are surrounding the area. Now, my impression is that these red flags are marking the perimeter, so you can physically see the land that we are going to be using on Saturday for our parade. And that down there is the stage. I am not even joking. You will need binoculars to be here. That is far, far away. If you're wondering what that little green section is there with the barriers, by the way, so basically there's a few of these that are around the field. Now, for supporters, when they're standing somewhere, the areas that have the barriers around them are basically areas that supporters can't stand them. So there'll be like sewage drains, for example, are just blocked off so we can't stand them for our safety reasons. But again, this is most likely the worst possible view you can have on Saturday. And if you are someone that wants to do the bus parade and then come here afterwards, this is the sort of place you're probably going to be standing after the bus parade. So it is tough. There's going to be TV screens down there. You're going to be watching them with binoculars. I'm not even joking. I think the actual TV screens will still not do enough work because, yeah, that is far. That is very far. But I'll tell you a few other things as well. I don't know if I've got this wrong, but I've seen little platforms down there before. I don't know on Saturday whether they're going to place that down for supporters to stand on, so it won't necessarily be a muddy field. I don't know if I've got that wrong. Again, I'm not a construction expert. I'm not going to lie, it's not my field of expertise, but that looks like perhaps something that supporters can stand on, so we aren't going to be absolutely drenched in mud, especially with the weather reports, which we'll tell you in a bit. In terms of a few things about the area, though, for example, that tent down there, which is, of course, next to the stage, my impression is that that won't be accessible for supporters. I reckon that'll be the VIP area for, of course, special guests, or I guess your hierarchy at Newcastle. Staff members, and I also believe it will be for probably the press, media section, press area, or journalists at Newcastle. Be a section for them to be able to conduct their media duties, of course, in a safe and confined area where they can get it all officiated. But just like all of you, of course, I'm here on the field. We are here in the trenches, and we are here to enjoy a huge cup parade on Saturday. Toilets, there's not an awful amount of toilets, I'm going to be honest. But again, even when recording this video, there are more and more toilets coming in. So even though you not see many toilets now, that's still not finalised. There's a lot of toilets coming in today, and I'm expecting to be more toilets across the week. So again, I think there will be more toilets than what you may see in the video. But again, for over 100,000 people, just nowhere near enough. It has to be more, and I haven't seen enough so far. There's a catering section down there. Again, I probably believe that's just for the staff members at the minute, of course, doing their construction work. But again, I'm expecting it to be eating and drinking places in the weekend. Of course, it's just no alcohol zone, no alcohol whatsoever. But again, eating and drinking places, I do expect to see them. Expecting the full range of this field to be used. So especially down there, make sure you're down in that section. So I definitely think over here, this will be a lot of the entry points coming over here. Again, it's not going to be the best view. And as I just mentioned before, this is probably the worst possible view you could get. That is horrendous. I do not want to be standing here. So make sure you're here early if you are actually wanting to take in the atmosphere and wanting to be able to see the players up close and personal, because there's going to be so many people here. And there's some bad spots. So make sure you're not on one of the bad spots, and make sure you are down there, and you have to be early to do that. Few things to take into consideration while being here at the town Moor. The first thing, it may look sunny now, it may be nice now in this video. Do not expect that on Saturday. It currently says, according to the BBC weather report, that there is a 50% chance of rain. I'm willing to bet every pound I've got, it's not going to go in our favour. I'm willing to bet we'll be short-sighted, and I think it will rain on Saturday. I'm just banking on it being a horrible, nasty day. So be wrapped up, be prepared. Make sure you're not wearing stuff like shorts. If I've been to the Hoppings before, it is muddy. And speaking of mud, there, just behind me, is a prime example of many spots at Town Moor where there'd just be little dirt patches, there'd be mud everywhere. I've seen a few hilarious videos, admittedly, on social media of people actually coming to Town Moor. They've got their shovels, they've got their spades out, and they're digging holes in the ground to try and stash away crates and stash away beer, of course, with this being a zero alcohol zone. Again, on Saturday, you are not allowed beer. So for those who have got little tactics, for example, bring a Sprite bottle, they're putting spirits, they're putting vodka inside it. Won't the bet the security is going to be very strict, so they'll sniff away at what you've got inside them bottles. If you're going to plan on doing anything like that, I am not advocating that. They've said no beer or no alcohol of any sort on Saturday. But, of course, just know that security will be quite heavy on searching, I believe. So, again, for anyone that's going to probably try and put drink inside a bottle, for example, again, they're probably going to fully check through that. So, do that at your own risk, that's all I'm saying. But for those who are trying to stash crates of beer out here, I respect it. I love it, but I don't think it's probably going to work. I hope you have enjoyed watching that. You took a few things away from this video, and it's first chance to really be able to take in the actual event on Saturday. We've heard about it in social media. We've seen, of course, parades in the past across the world, but we haven't seen one from Newcastle to this scale. So to physically be able to see the early undergoings of this today was a spectacle. And again, we are here so early as well. So over the next couple of days, this will continue to pump up a bit. If you want me to come back towards the end of the week when it's talking nearly finalised so we can fully understand what's going on, I'm happy to do that. But for now, it was kind of more just seeing what they've been up to and seeing what's going on. I've answered as much as I could to the best of my knowledge. Again, some things may change, and I'm not entirely sure on everything, but this is an active work zone. It's continuing to be active, and there's a lot going on here. And I didn't want to kind of, I guess, just get my face amongst it all because, again, these people are doing the job and needs to be done swiftly, needs to be done on Saturday. So kind of came here, done a video without distracting any of the workers, without kind of sticking my nose in there. Again, I'm just here to show you guys what's going on. I'm just here, of course, to physically know myself what I can do on Saturday. Taking it all in for now. It's a lovely day for what I will say. I'm not expecting it to be that way on Saturday, as we said before. So I'm hoping we'll get a bit lucky, but the reality is I'm going to be wrapped up on Saturday and I'm going to be here nice and early to make sure we do get a half-decent spot for the event. Excited though. And as I mentioned in my video yesterday regarding the bus parade, I'm going to make this point clear again. I think you have to do one or the other. I'm going to be straight up. If you are someone that is planning on doing the bus parade and then coming to the parade last minute to try and do both in one, I just don't think you're going to have an enjoyable experience because you're going to be kind of rushing to do a bus parade. It's going to be rammed where the coach is trying to come in. You're then being a massive queue to get inside here and you're going to be somewhere back there where it's a horrible spot. I just don't think realistically you can enjoy both events. I think you have to prioritise one over the other one. I'll give you an example. So, for example, my mum wanted to go to the bus parade on Saturday. I'm not going to lie, she's a bit of a glory hunt and Newcastle fan, believe it or not. She's watched 2 matches from Newcastle in the last 3 years. It was both of our cup finals. She's someone that doesn't really watch football, to be honest. Obviously knows that I'm down in London for the weekend. She wants to watch the big cup finals, and she's someone that, of course, does like Newcastle, but isn't that arsed about football. So for her, she wants to come see the bus parade on Saturday. I imagine she doesn't want to stand on the field like this, so she's just going to see the bus parade and then go home after the bus parade. You've got to remember, there's a lot of people in the public that's going to be doing the same thing. They want to see bus parade, they'll quickly look, take a little bit of time out of their day to see how Newcastle United are doing, but deep down, it's going to be a lot of people with that same idea and that same, I guess, mentality. So be around no matter where you go, so be prepared for that. You've got to be early, you've got to be patient, you've got to stick by this because it's going to be a very hectic Saturday. And for me, it's going to be a very long day of just standing, holding my bladder in because, again, there's just not enough toilets really. But to be honest, no one's drinking on the fields. You can't drink on the fields. So I feel like the toilet situation probably won't be as bad as you may first suggest because of the fact that nobody's going to be breaking their seal because nobody's drinking alcohol. Yeah, so a lot of different factors are going to it, but it's going to be an amazing day regardless of what you do. Please do enjoy yourself. Please do look after yourselves and please do make the most out of it because it's been so long since our last one. Enjoy it. Take it all in and just know that Newcastle United have been able to do what we haven't done for so many years, win silverware. So enjoy this, make the most out of it, have a fantastic day, and we will see you all, of course, for here at the weekends.